What's a common piece of life advice that's actually terrible? Follow your passion. When it comes to career advice, sometimes your passion should just be a side project or hobby. In addition, sometimes your passion can turn sour if you do it all day every day trying to make ends meet. The better advice: do something you're really good at. If you are really good at it, you will be a hot commodity, and you will eventually actually really love it because people love things they are good at. As a hobbyist musician, it's tough watching friends throw everything to the side to chase success in the industry. I'm perfectly fine earning a corporate salary and playing on nights and weekends. Ignore the bully and they will go away. Bulls asterisk it. Stick up to that motherfucker and for yourself. In junior high, there was a resident bully that just took it out on everyone. I remember him even trying to hit me, a little girl at the time, with a skateboard. An all-around douchebag. And this wasn't the case of some kid that had a rough home life. In fact, he was raised by his grandma, who spoiled him rotten and set no boundaries. If our parents went to her to complain, she would belligerently talk about how her precious grandson could do no wrong. He finally decided to target my brother, who normally was a pretty confident and popular kid, and got along with everyone. At first, my brother followed the advice of adults. Just ignore him. Don't stoop to his level. Be the bigger person. Then one day after school, the bully, who I might add was 2 grades older, came after my brother one too many times. My brother snapped and literally shredded the guy. It was glorious to behold. I'll never forget him straddling the dude and just beating everything out of him, while the bully lay there helpless, pleading with him to please stop. Finally, my brother pulled himself together and ended up having to go to the ER with a sprained wrist from all the beating. But that's not the end of the story. A miracle happened. We didn't see the bully for some time. He was too embarrassed to show his face. But when he did, he came around to apologize and grovel. He suddenly started acting nice to people and remembering his manners. It was a complete 180. We used to joke to each other that my brother must have knocked the sense into him. In later school years, he was actually a friend of the family, and would give the kids rides to school and ask for gas money, although he would never ask my brother, haha. And I'm happy to report that over 3 decades later, he is the head of emergency services in our old town, has received but loads of awards for his life-saving skills and done a whole lot of good with his life. Never go to bed angry with your partner. Whilst to some extent it's not the worst advice, sometimes people need the time to process their feelings. Forcing someone to talk to you when they might still be feeling the most angry, sad, etc., especially when it's late at night, and they could be tired, is just going to stress everyone out. I just think it's not the worst thing in the world if people want time, space, or even sleep to be able to calm down. People tend to forget that the brain is made of meat, not pure reason and feelings. If my brain is soaked in adrenaline from a heated argument, nothing you can say is going to instantly bring me down to my baseline serenity. You have to wait for it to be metabolized, and it will take a few half-lives. Be yourself. Often the problem is that you're being an arsehole. Don't compound that problem by being unwilling to change. Be yourself. No, not like that. Hard work never hurt anybody. Bullshit. Lots of people die from hard work. My dad always told me, "You're afraid of hard work." No, I'm just not interested in breaking my back digging ditches for the same amount of money as I do delivering pizza. You can be anything you want to be. No, you can't. Monsters University might be a mid-movie overall, but its message is phenomenal. Sometimes you can't achieve your dreams. Some people just don't have it, and that's okay. You can still find happiness being something else, doing something else. Just grin and bear it. Arguably says just roll over and take it, don't fight back. Absolute dog shit advice. If I had $10 for every time I heard this from my mother, I could have paid for 1/4 of the therapy I needed. Kill them with kindness. Sometimes, it's appropriate to tear someone a new a-hole if they disrespect you. On the other hand, some people get big mad if you turn the nice boasting up to 11. This is me. I'll purposely be overly gushy nice, and they get big mad. It tickles my soul. Work hard for your company, and you will be rewarded. You have to operate as your own brand and leave for more money. Employers do not care about you. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you practice doing it wrong, you will do it wrong more. guidance and coaching exist for a reason. My school's old football coach was fond of tweaking that to say, "Perfect practice makes perfect." You don't know anyone anything. Yes, you do. Most enabling excuse for selfish behavior I've ever heard. This may be okay if you also take to heart that nobody else owes you anything either. Happy wife, happy life. You should want the best for your spouse, but this is usually presented in a way that implies men should not set boundaries with their spouse at all. Worst advice possible. It creates weak men and petulant women, and both are equally unhappy. A divorced Uber driver at a bachelor party dropped some wisdom on us. Happy wife, happy life is bullshit. If you want your relationship to last, it needs to be happy spouse, happy house, because all it takes is one person being miserable to bring the whole house down. I've been married a decade, and what I've learned is that marriage is about service to your partner. You are both there to serve your partner. That might mean different things depending on the person, but it's the truth. When one party starts taking advantage of that, there has to be a correction made, or the relationship will fail. You have to wake up every day and choose your partner all over again, and you have to look at everything they do in the most favorable light possible. Set boundaries, but have grace, because none of us are perfect. Life advices are situational. What works for most people may not work for me. Different people have different stuff going on in their lives which significantly alter the effects of such advices. Taking life advices is fine as long as one does not follow it blindly. All advice has its exceptions. Take long, deep breaths, calm down, and assess the situation is great advice, but not when you're in a burning building. Trust people to know or learn the difference. If someone insults you or bullies you, ask, "What did I do to cause them to do this? What can I do to change their behavior toward me?" My mom's idea of making me into a master communicator turned me into a damaged anxiety bag, incapable of defending myself, and thinking abuse of any kind, including hers, is somehow my fault. You can probably guess why I blew a gasket when she tried telling my daughter the same. Respect your elders, sure, but let's be real. Some people don't get wiser with age. They just get better at being wrong with confidence. Live like it's the last day of your life. I got blackout drunk by 9 a.m., took every drug I ever wanted to, and then ended up needing my stomach pumped by midday. Honestly, always be grateful because other people have it worse, is such garbage advice. Like, yeah, gratitude is important, but this just feels like a guilt trip disguised as wisdom. First of all, it completely invalidates your feelings. Just because someone else is struggling more doesn't mean your problems magically disappear. Life isn't a competition for who has it the worst. You're allowed to feel what you feel without having to compare it to someone else's suffering. Second, comparing struggles doesn't actually help anyone. If I'm upset or stressed about something, telling me to be grateful because someone else has it worse doesn't fix the issue. It just makes me feel guilty on top of everything else. Like, great, now I feel bad about feeling bad. Thanks. And honestly, it reeks of toxic positivity. Not every moment needs to be about looking on the bright side. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge that life sucks right now and let yourself feel that without shame. I'm not saying gratitude is useless. It's definitely a good practice when it comes from the right place. But forcing yourself to be grateful just because someone else has problems isn't healthy. A better way to frame it might be, yeah, things are hard, but is there anything good you can focus on in this moment? That feels way more supportive than, other people have it worse, so stop complaining. The best things come to those who wait. While it can be useful in rare instances, mostly it's garbage advice. Everything happens for a reason. No. Sometimes shitty things just happen. Sometimes there is no reason. Like there is no reason for somebody to get raped, trafficked, be abused, so on and so forth. Specific to Indian Asian culture, I'm Indian. Get married, it's time. There is no good time or age to get married. You're ready when you're ready. Hit 25 and the entire goddamn family are on your ass 25-8. Your time will come. While it may be very occasionally true sometime, opportunities are mostly made. Time heals everything. No, you need therapy. The generalization of go to college and get a major. The pressure makes a lot of people swim in debt and pick a major that has a harder time getting return on investment. Your parents really care about you and you should talk to them about XXXX. I see this so damn often on Reddit. Sometimes one or both parents are evil, abusive, nasty pieces of shit, and telling them about the issues is not the right answer. Knew someone who got that advice and talked to his father. He literally got his hand nailed to the table as a result. Yes, you read that right. Do not advise this shit unless you are fully sure of the response you'll get. I swear some people here think that everyone's family on here is their own, and never even stop to think. Fake it till you make it. Some people will use that as justification to completely ignore major issues in their life, business, relationships, etc. I don't know if this counts as life advice, but boys will be boys. It's basically teaching your daughters that it's okay for a boy to misbehave just because they're a boy. Sleep when you're dead, or sleep is for the weak, are terrible pieces of advice. Sleep is just as important as good diet and exercise and being healthy. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Totally agree with you. Think about all the people who have been abused in their childhoods that never overcome those demons. A lot of people who have dealt with very serious life circumstances often end up beaten down by them, not the opposite. Save, save, save. While yes, having a decent emergency savings and retirement fund is sound advice, saving every extra penny you have, just because it's good advice, is foolish. My parents have done this, have minimal credit card debt. They freak out if there's $500 on there. Multiple savings funds, no mortgage and maximum in pensions and 401k. But they're getting older and more frail. My dad has major balance issues and struggles to walk on his own. My mom is getting there. They had dreams to travel the world. They loved hiking and camping before they had me. And now, they can't do those things. They saved all this money for when they turn 70. Dad is almost 80. And they can't enjoy it to the fullest. It's sad, really. I get the concept of saving as much as you can for real life. But not when you can't enjoy it anymore. This weekend I got so angry at my dad for shutting down the idea of a cruise they'd wanted to go on for decades due to money. I told him flat out, "Well, Dad, you and Mom aren't getting younger, and frankly, we don't know how much time you both have. You have the money, use it for fuck's sake. Enjoy the rewards while you can." I think it helped because they're looking into the cruise more now. What's a common piece of life advice that's actually terrible? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.